Legends, what's up? We are giving away 2 copies of Dragonflight. Stick around till the end of the video to find out how to get your hands on one of those 2 copies. Hey Legends, what's up? It's Darkmech here and welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to talk about the Prot Warrior. I was going to talk about my first impressions around Prot Warrior after playing it in dungeon content and questing, but then I woke up this morning and they have gone ahead and changed Prot Warrior. Now there's a new build on Alpha, so we're going to talk about that. So Protection Warrior, when it started, was lit beyond belief. The first iteration of the trees were absolutely on fire, and I honestly didn't think it was going to go live that way. Now we've had our first look at some changes. So you can see on your screen now the changes from the first version to the now current version of the trees that we have on Alpha. No changes on the Protection Warrior side of the tree so far. It is all on the class side of the tree, and you can see that there are some pretty big changes that have gone down. Mainly, a lot of access to nodes have changed, as well with a few node positions have been altered. Start off with the overall vibe though of what Prot Warrior is feeling like on Dragonflight Alpha. So the BFA Prot Warrior style with Avatar is back in Thunderclap, which is great. Cataclysm Prot Warrior is back with Rend and Blood and Thunder. Then we have a lot of added bonuses that have been put into the trees via Shadowlands, which is also spectacular. Wall, Spirit Bastion, Reprisal's been reformed. There's a bunch of talents and nodes that play a really good role in synergizing well with each other. This puts Prot Warriors in a prime position to both be a strong tank to play in all forms of content and a fun and interactive one. One of the talents at the moment, Seismic Reverberations, is pretty broken and you can do about 300k DPS with Revenge. Not even mad about it if it went live that way. So let's take a look at the Warrior tree now, see what's changed from new to old. But the first thing you'll notice is stances are back and present at the top of the tree, and I like the flavors that these bring. In Mythic Plus, I don't think you'll get much use out of them. I think you'll be sitting in defensive stance basically the whole time. But these will see raid interaction, I think, and I'm okay with that. What I'm not a huge fan of straight off the bat with the change is how the path of Rallying Cry has changed. I really liked the original mapping in the first iteration of the tree with your first 5 points being spent. Now, not so much. Impending Victories node has changed positions, and I actually liked having easy access to Impending Victory in the old style of the tree. It gave warriors a form of hit recovery, and now to get this you have to path down from battle stance. Double Time, Heroic Leap, Thunderclap, War Machine, Massacre, Stormbolt, Pain and Gain, Blood and Thunder, Frothing Berserker, Crushing Force, and Dauntless Duelist have all seen node placement change. Shattering Throw and Inspiring Presence now share a node choice also, as well as the new talent Concussive Blows that is now sharing a node with Crushing Force. Dauntless Duelist has moved to the new Capstone choice node on the bottom right side of the pathing. You are now locked into having to take Piercing Howl or Berserker Shout to get Furious Blows and Seismic Reverberations for Mythic Plus. They have also changed the ability for Prot Warriors to gain 15% baseline leech from the tree. In the old tree, you had the option to go Berserker Stance to Siphoning Strikes for 5% leech, and then you could pick up one-handed weapon specializations, which in its first iteration was 10% leech. This has now been changed to 10% extra damage from one-handed weapons and 5% leech, so you can still pick up 10% baseline, which is still pretty nutty. Die by the Sword has been removed from the tree entirely. This was amazing to have as protection, and it's not really a huge surprise to see that it didn't sort of go into a live format. 100% parry on Prot Warrior for 8 seconds was pretty cray-cray. Depending on tuning between Berserker and Battle Stance, I would assume one will play out as the higher DPS option, and you'll end up taking one of them for off-tanking situations in raid, or even when something is on farm, just to farm more output for giving up survivability versus damage. Unstoppable Force is the capstone feeding off Avatar, and with this comes the return of the BFA Prot Warrior style, which is great. Spirit Bastion with Elysian Might is another capstone combo, and I don't even actually mind the other capstone node choice in Piercing Verdict either. There are, however, now a lot of areas re decision making between Mythic Plus and Raid. Things like Battle versus Berserker Stance, Intervene, is it useful, Stormbolt, Pain and Gain, Intimidating Shout, Impending Victory, Piercing Howl, Berserker Rage, Shockwave, Rumbling Earth. These are just to fire off a quick few. Dauntless Duelist is a solid passive now on the right side of the bottom capstone, and it would be a solid raid choice. It's 3% extra damage and a 1.5% permanent DR. It's boring, but it's nice, but how efficient will it now be to try and pick up? It's also worth noting that at the moment, dual wield specialization is working with shield and one-handed weapons, so that will be interesting to see if that is a continued development. Bitter immunity is basically the Kyrian file 2.0, 20% heal and a debuff removal that might be a solid option if an encounter has the place for it. Two examples on the screen here of a Mythic Plus build and a Raid build. Again, there are loads of variables that you could consider with this, and this is just something I've knocked up from the changes this morning. No, but for Mythic Plus, you'll have to be tossing up, is Intervene useful? Would you consider trying to go Berserker stance into siphoning for the extra leech? Is there use in the dungeon for Berserker Rage? Do you want to try and get the cooldown reduction for Shockwave via Rumbling Earth? What would you give up to do that? For Raid, you could swap your stances depending on which was tuned to the most output. You could take Bitter Immunity if there's a debuff you can clear, Inspiring Presence if there was some kind of EHP need that was needed on Rally. You could also go Overwhelming Rage as an option. Would you try and go for Dauntless Jeweler? So there's a lot of choice, which I guess is one of the things Blizzard wanted to create in these trees, but the new changes feel like they have certainly mixed things up from what was generally sort of very clear cut. Things are now a little hazy. Moving into the protection tree, nothing has changed here so far, but I kind of get the feeling that something may be on the way. This is one of the best tank trees in my opinion that we have seen so far. It's all the best parts and playstyles of Protection Warrior with Shadowlands legendaries baked into it. Fantastic synergy exists all throughout the tree with power increases across core abilities and functions. If we take a look at the talents and choices through the tree, a number of nodes really stand out in this one. At lower stat budgets, I think Into the Fray will be a really solid option to start off with that will eventually get replaced with Heavy Repercussions. You could make cases for enduring defenses or sudden death re-survival versus damage output, the same you could do for Punish and Juggernaut. The wall has been put on a node with Unbreakable Will, which gives you an extra charge of Shield Wall that grants 50% of its effect to your party. This is actually really cool. It's that throwback to the Dragon Soul tier bonus the Prot Warriors had. This could have cool applications in Mythic Plus, however the wall is probably going to be the standard default pick for all forms of content as it's just so solid. Improved Challenging Shout is a rad choice to have. I'm not sure how much play it will actually see, but it's a cool fork off a current ability and I like that. On the left side capstone of the tree is Reprisal Reformed. It's certainly not as strong as the current Reprisal. I don't hate Shield Charge or Champion's Bulwark. As I said, it's basically just another Reprisal. The problem is it's on a 45-second CD. It's not going to be as strong due to that, and I know there's a lot of people that actually don't like the playstyle that Reprisal represents. The middle pathing seems like it'll be your default line heading down to Battle Scarred Veteran, skipping defensive reflexes of course because it's realistically pretty useless. There's a few options as you go down off this as well. Battle Scarred Veteran is basically like Will of the Necropolis for Protection Warriors, which is actually kind of cool. On the bottom right side we have Ravager. Now I don't particularly like Ravager as an ability, but at the moment the right side of the tree heading towards that just seems to be better than the left. You gain extra strength, armor, crit from Focus Vigor, tremendous amount of rage from Ravager, especially in a Mythic Plus situation. On your screen here, this is an example of like a Mythic Plus build and also a Raid build, and you have options to swap things here like Punish to Juggernaut, the Wall to Unbreakable Will, though I think that's super niche. Enduring defenses could be swapped for Sudden Death for more damage. And you sort of have points that you can move around to see, you know, if you want anything extra. Do you want to try and get 2 extra seconds of Ravager? Would you rather get extra Thunderclap damage from Show of Force, or would you get 1 point in Alacrity for 5% stamina, 2% haste? So, you know, there's a few things you could do, or you could even for Mythic Plus toss up if you wanted Best Serve Cold for that extra revenge damage. So all in all, I think the Protection Warrior is looking very solid. The new changes certainly took me by surprise, and I really did love that original tree. Not trying to be a doomer, this tree now is what we've got to make the most of it, but that original tree was just so goddamn good. I will be super interested to see what develops from here. Will we get a Protection Warrior tree shake up, and how scared are you of that? I'm a little bit. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below though. If you're interested in seeing how any of the other tanks on Dragonflight Alpha are faring, Legends, I am giving away 2 copies of Dragonflight. It is only available to NA and Oceanic users, unfortunately, no EU gifters. One winner is going to be picked from the comments section on YouTube, and the other one is going to be given away via Discord. So to give yourself the best chance, make sure you comment on the videos, make sure you come and jump in the Discord, make sure you check out our first impression videos on the channel here. Otherwise, thank you so much for taking the time to check out this video. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll try and learn how to speak before the next one. See you, fam.